The Muslims recovered somewhat after the First Crusade. In 1144, the ruler of Mosul, Imad al-Din Zengi, recaptured Edessa. The Crusaders lost their northern outpost. The fall of the First Crusader state led to the creation of a new religious movement. Eugene III was the Pope at the time. Everyone was waiting for the Pope to proclaim the Second Crusade, but his influence was declining, and the authority of the Church was threatened by democratic activists. King of Germany, Conrad III, also wanted to start the crusade, but he was busy with internal affairs. King of the Franks, Louis VII, dreamed of being a knight. He was attracted by marches and battles. The king wanted to start a new crusade and recapture Edessa. Eugene III immediately approved of this. The Pope delegated French abbot Bernard of Clairvaux to preach the Second Crusade and finally convinced the king. In 1146, the assembly was held at Vézelay in Burgundy. King Louis VII received the Pilgrim's Cross from Bernard. The crusade will be successful. You will protect the Holy Lands. God will forgive your debts and sins. God said so. Go and get some goodies. Hey, where are you? Playing a new strategy game? Come on, you'll play the Second Crusade now. France started to gather troops. According to various estimates, the army had from 15 to 70,000 men. That was enough for a military campaign, but Bernard went further. He arrived in German lands to see King Conrad III, accidentally found out the Franks and their king are going on a campaign to claim back the Holy Land. All the glory will be his. What? My campaign? My glory? Yeah. I won't let it happen. Where's my sword? All the German people got inspired and started to prepare. Their army had about the same number of people as the French one. Louis VII had a good relationship with the King of Sicily, Roger II. They agreed that the French army would go through Italy, and the Sicilian fleet would ferry them to the Holy Land. In addition, Roger II wanted to join the crusade too, but Roger of Sicily was an enemy of Conrad. Hey guys, let's not break with tradition, and let's go through Byzantium, as they did in the First Crusade. But we? Here? Yeah, okay. We get on well with the Byzantines. They will let us into the Holy Lands. Actually, we're... Stop! Surely he'll come with me. We can't split our troops. As a result, Louis gave in to persuasion and decided to follow Conrad. In the summer of 1147, the Germans set out on the crusade. A month later, the French followed them. Roger II took offence and refused to participate any longer. He made an alliance with African Muslims and sent ships to plunder the coast of Byzantium. On the way to Constantinople, the Crusaders plundered and devastated everything that came in their way, so Emperor Manuel Comnenos feared they were going to plunder his city too. Hey, Conrad, maybe you can bypass the Gallipoli Peninsula. Open up, we're already here, man. Damn. Open up, a huge crowd of Germans gathered in front of the city. They were eager to move on. Manuel realised that the situation was heating up. In addition to this, Roger was plundering cities. This is trouble. Then the Byzantines made a smart move. They made an alliance with the Seljuks. They made it clear to Muslims that they weren't going to support the Christians with military assistance. Then the Crusaders would act on their own. Manuel ferried the Germans through the Bosphorus. They stayed at Nicaea. Conrad split his army into two divisions. 15,000 men sailed to Palestine. Conrad and the rest of the soldiers followed the path of the First Crusade. On the 26th of October 1147, the Seljuks almost totally destroyed King Conrad's army at the Second Battle of Dorylaeum. Conrad and the remnants of his troops retreated back to Nicaea. At about the same time, the French reached Constantinople. Manuel was afraid of Louis too, so he fooled the French king. Listen to me, their Conrad is destroying the Seljuks right now. All the glory will be his. What? My glory? Yeah. I need to be there. Urgently. The two armies were finally united. The previous path was covered in the corpses of Europeans, so the kings decided to take a detour, in order to not lower the morale. But the new route was extremely difficult. The Muslims were familiar with the area, so guerrillas attacked the army constantly. Moreover, Louis imagined that the crusade would be heroic, so he took his retinue with him, including his wife Eleanor of Aquitaine. Because of that, they were going slowly. As a result, some troops and supplies were lost. By the beginning of 1148, the remnants of the army arrived in Ephesus. There they received a letter from Manuel. Well, what did he write there? Would you like to come over for a while? You can relax and have fun. Great! Conrad returned to Constantinople without hesitation. Louis decided to sail for Antioch. The army was almost entirely destroyed, either by the Seljuks or by sickness. Raymond of Poitiers was Prince of Antioch. Louis was welcomed by him. Look, right over there. They were having fun and boozing it up. Louis felt he hadn't done his duty. Your Highness, your wife was there. In short, she's having an affair with Raymond. Yeah. Louis felt humiliated and lost any desire to continue the crusade. Conrad was having fun in Byzantium at the time. Soon he quarrelled with the Byzantine emperor, took offence and sailed off to Jerusalem. Baldwin III was a ruler of the Holy Land. He offered the German king to lead his 50,000-strong army and attack Damascus. Damascus? Damascus? Did I just hear that? Yeah? Why? I thought we were going to besiege Edessa rather than Damascus. No. Damascus comes first, dude. This led to the formation of an anti-Christian coalition. The ruler of Damascus made an alliance with Nur ad-Din, the son of Zengi. The Crusaders marched to Damascus. The city had a good defence. They concentrated on the eastern and southern edges of the city by attacking the weakest of the gates, built only of mud bricks. They learned Nur ad-Din arrived with his army, and the Crusaders were suffering from attacks by Muslims. They'd bribed some Christians, who spread a rumour that it was impossible to take Damascus from this side. As a result, the Europeans moved to the plain on the eastern side of the city. They needed a lot of time, endurance and effort for the siege, and they had nothing. So the siege was abandoned. The Crusaders retreated. Conrad got sad. I'm so tired of this stupid crusade. So, in 1148, he gave up everything and returned to Germany. Louis remained behind in Jerusalem. He was waiting for reinforcements from Europe, but no further help arrived due to the lack of trust that had resulted from the failed siege. So, he arranged with Roger to take the French back to Europe. Well, warrior, have you fought? Yeah. Did I tell you that you had to go with me? Yeah. Well, sorry. Okay, so, let's go home. After the Crusaders had returned to Europe, Nur ad-Din took much of the eastern part of the Principality of Antioch. A rumour spread that the crusade ended badly because of Byzantium. Like it was Byzantium that interfered with the normal passage. Moreover, Byzantium didn't help with reinforcements. The Second Crusade in the east was a failure for the Crusaders and a great victory for the Muslims.